Most people think Elon Musk is building companies, electric cars, rockets, satellites, social media. But what if that's not what he's really doing? What if all these companies are just tools? What if the real goal isn't Tesla or SpaceX or X? What if he's designing the blueprint for an entirely new world? This isn't about startups. It's about infrastructure, psychology, power, and the future of civilization. Because if you line up his companies like puzzle pieces, they don't look like a portfolio. They look like preparation. Musk didn't start as a CEO. He started as a kid who read 10 hours a day, a kid who built games, read science fiction, and told people he wanted to move to Mars. Everyone laughed, but he wasn't joking. From his earliest interviews, he said his mission was to solve humanity's biggest existential risks: climate collapse, artificial intelligence, resource depletion, extinction-level threats. He didn't say, make money. He said, preserve the future. And that idea, it shaped everything. That's why he didn't stop at PayPal. He had wealth, but not leverage. So he reinvested nearly all of it into building what came next. Not because he wanted power, because he wanted control over destiny. Start with the obvious one, Tesla. Most people think Tesla is about cars, but Tesla is about mobility. Not just how we move, but what we move on, what powers it, and who controls that movement. Electric vehicles were the first move, but underneath that, a global network of charging stations, battery manufacturing, energy independence. Then there's the Boring Company. People mocked it as a joke, but tunneling under cities solves one of the most intractable problems of the modern world: space. The idea wasn't just novelty, it was survival. Urban environments are choking with traffic and inefficiency, so Musk starts digging. And he's not done. He pushes the Hyperloop concept: high-speed, long-range land travel that skips airspace, borders, and bottlenecks. Each one of these seems disconnected, but step back. They all shape how a population moves, powers that movement, and bypasses limits. That's not just innovation, that's civilization engineering. Tesla Energy was the piece no one noticed. Batteries, solar panels, and power walls. It sounds like a clean energy initiative. But in Musk's mind, it's more than that. It's about sovereignty. Because what civilization can survive without power? Every revolution in history, industrial, digital, even agricultural, was powered by energy shifts. And Musk wants the next one to be renewable. Why? Because if you want to go multi-planetary, you can't rely on coal. He's not thinking about what powers a city, he's thinking about what powers a colony. So when Tesla launched the Gigafactory, it wasn't about production, it was about proof. Proof that the future could run off-grid. And once that works on Earth, it can work anywhere. Now enter Starlink, thousands of low-orbit satellites blanketing the planet in internet coverage. Most people think it's about faster Wi-Fi. It's not. It's about building the communications backbone for wherever humans go next. Starlink doesn't just serve cities. It serves deserts, forests, oceans, war zones, and one day, Mars. Because a new civilization doesn't just need wheels and power, it needs signal. And who owns that signal determines the flow of information. Then came Twitter, now X. People saw it as a messy acquisition. But for Musk, it wasn't about tweets. It was about the digital square, the place where ideas get made. Every empire has a story. Musk bought the microphone. And he didn't just rebrand it, he restructured it to host payments, video, search, a mini internet inside the internet. He didn't buy a website. He acquired attention. Now we look to the sky. SpaceX wasn't built to impress NASA. It was built to make escape velocity possible. Because if things collapse here, politically, ecologically, economically, he wants a plan. Mars isn't a fantasy, it's a backup. And Starship isn't just a big rocket. It's the freight train to the next chapter of human expansion. Reusable rockets, orbital refueling, planetary infrastructure. SpaceX is doing what governments stopped trying to do: scale outward. Because if humanity gets a second chance, it needs an exit strategy. Musk isn't just launching rockets, he's building exits. Then there's Neuralink, the most controversial piece. Brain-machine interface, thought-level interaction with tech. It sounds like science fiction, but the intent is crystal clear. He believes artificial intelligence could outpace human cognition. And if that happens, the only way to stay relevant is to evolve. Neuralink isn't about uploading your brain. It's about closing the gap between thought and action, between human and machine. Because if AI becomes the dominant species, humanity has two options: be protected or be part of it. Musk is betting we should adapt, not resist. It's not about convenience, it's about survival. Before we step back, there's one more move worth examining. It's easy to focus on Musk's ventures as separate plays, but there's another layer beneath them, one that reveals how he thinks about time. Because Musk isn't building for quarters or even decades, he's building for centuries. He's been known to say, "We must pass the great filter." That idea comes from the Fermi paradox, the question of why we haven't encountered other intelligent life. The great filter, in theory, is the invisible wall that kills civilizations before they become spacefaring. And Musk? He's trying to punch through it. To him, colonizing Mars isn't just a sci-fi fantasy, it's a civilization insurance policy. And everything, Tesla, Starlink, Neuralink, even X, feeds into that arc. He's not just engineering products, he's engineering survivability. Now step back. What does this all look like? Transportation, power, communication, space, cognition. It doesn't look like business. It looks like architecture. He's not trying to win the present. He's laying the foundation for an entirely different world. Not just to thrive on Earth, but to ensure there's still an Earth to thrive on. Elon Musk isn't chaotic. He's deliberate. And while the world argues about whether he's a genius or a madman, he keeps building. Because what he's building isn't just a network of companies. It's a post-crisis blueprint, a survival map, a second chance for civilization. And he doesn't need everyone to agree. He just needs it to work. If you're drawn to the minds behind empires and the forces that shape the future, subscribe to Forged in Fortune. Because in the story of Elon Musk, what he's building isn't business. It's a backup plan for humanity.